run into Craig Anderton, writer and journalist. So we wanted to ask you, have you seen anything interesting here today?
Actually, I've seen quite a few things. Have you seen the PV Revolver 3, their guitar modeling thing? I thought, okay, guitar modeling, yeah, right, okay. But you can get down on, you can right click on things and get down to a component level. Like you can change the virtual plate voltage and the virtual bias resistors to the virtual cathodes and choose different tubes and things. So I really like that. And of course, we're here, we're right next to the Waves booth. The GTR3 sounds really good. So there's some really good guitar simulator stuff coming out. But actually one of the more important things I think at the show here is a portion of the Moog booth is taken up by the Bob Moog Foundation. And if you're not aware of that, I think it's a very important project. Bob left behind a lot of archives. You know how important Bob was to the industry. I mean, we're all here because of him in a lot of ways. And his archives are unbelievable. It's photos, it's old reel-to-reel tapes, it's prototypes of breadboards, it's his correspondence with Theremin, really great historical documents, and they're all sort of rotting away in a warehouse in North Carolina. So the Bob Moog Foundation has been set up to try to save these archives, which are our history, they're like really important. And it's just one lady, it's his daughter, who knows the importance of her dad, but she's got a lot of work ahead of her because she's also, she's a mom. She's raising her kids. So I'm trying to get people to contribute something to the foundation. I'm actually doing a patch set for a soft synthesizer, and the company that's putting out the patches and myself are donating a portion of the proceeds to the Bob Moog Foundation. Some of the PR people that I know here have volunteered their time to help, and I've been talking to other companies and sort of trying to shame them into making sure that they preserve this legacy, which means so much. So I really thank you for the opportunity to mention this.
Okay, so if people want to help, what can they do to help?
They can go to, I believe it's moogfoundation.org. But if they go to the Moog website, they can find a link to the foundation there. And it's a situation where even a $10 donation would really help. If everybody who's ever used a sawtooth waveform donated $10, not only would the archives would be preserved, there would be a museum too, and that's eventually what they want to do. Okay. So, I mean, Bob was, I remember, if you have a minute, one of my favorite Bob things was taking him to the Reason booth at, the Propeller Hits booth to show him Reason. He'd never seen Reason before. Yeah. And I just knew that when you hit the tab button and the patch core swayed, he would just flip out. And so I brought him there, and of course you guys were very gracious, and hi Bob, and he sat down, he saw the demo, and I just kept watching him the whole time for when you hit that tab button. And the thing flipped around, the patch cord started swaying, and he just laughed his head off. He thought that was the coolest thing on the planet to see his patch cord concept swaying on the back of a virtual synthesizer. So you gave him a really good time.
It's a great story. I know you've been reviewing Reason 4. Do you want to give us your opinion of it? What do you think?
Well, I got to tell you, Reason 1 was already good. It arrived kind of fully formed into the world. I remember all the jaws dropping at NAMM when that first was shown. And I've been watching the progression of it. Of course, I use it. I have it on my laptop all the time. It's whenever my hard drive crashes, it's in the top 10 programs that I reinstall immediately, And Reason 4, the thing about Reason 4, obviously the sequencer is a big improvement. I really like the arpeggiator. I think that's kind of a neat little thing. I like the groove options, the groove mixer, and I just say a lot of the improvements actually in version 3 I thought were very significant too. I love the way you redid the browser, so it's easy to audition sounds, and I also, obviously the mastering compressors and things like that. I think one thing a lot of people don't realize is how good the transposition algorithm is on the sampler. And I've done things like, I used to, in the old days of tape, I would take master recordings and speed them up like 2% just to give them a little more energy, and it was a common thing to do back then. And a lot of people don't realize you can take a file, load it into the NNXT, and do those kinds of changes, just repitch it a little bit, and it really sounds quite good. So Reason, just when you think you know it, you find out something else you can do with it, And of course the rewire thing is brilliant because, I use it all the time, rewired with things. So, yeah, I think it's a great program. I think you guys did really good with that.
Well, thank you, and thanks for taking the time to talk to us. Have a good show.